Greetings and salutations. Hello, I know I've been absent, I'm sorry. For those of you who don't follow me on other social media, I've basically just been really struggling with a lot of things lately. There's a lot of stuff happening in my personal life that is just making content creation in general really hard. My mental health is very bad at the minute, and it's making creativity very difficult for me. So it's very hard to create content, and specifically like the reading vlog that I know everyone is waiting for, I kind of can't make right now for personal reasons. But because of that, yeah, the content I haven't been making much of it, but I'm gonna try and get better. I know and I want to post more consistently on here and have more of a relationship with you guys on here. So to get back in the swing of trying to create videos and get back into a creative mindset, I guess, on here, I'm doing the most cliche thing ever, which is a Q&A. So I asked you guys questions on a YouTube community post and on my Instagram story, just to send in whatever you wanted to, and I'm gonna answer them now. How do you feel about Taylor's version of Fearless and Have a Good Day? Bye. Have a good day too, babe. I really love Taylor's version of Fearless. I definitely genuinely think it's better than the original album. I'm obviously very biased because I am likely to enjoy an album that Taylor herself owns more anyway, but I genuinely think these recordings are better songs than the original. I'm so in love with it, and all the vault tracks are so fucking god tier. They just are. I haven't really listened to the original version of Fearless since Taylor's version dropped, and I don't think I will, besides occasionally listening to it on vinyl. I genuinely think this is a superior album, and I'm so in love with it. Any new fandoms you've been getting into? Hope you have a good day today. Thank you, Rebecca. I hope you have a good day. I don't know if there's any new fandoms I've been getting into lately. I've been re-falling in love with old ones, and I guess falling more into certain ones as well, because a lot of my comfort media has been painful to kind of consume lately, which means that I've fallen into some other ones a little bit more, but I don't know that there's any new ones unless you count Raya the Last Dragon, but I just kind of group that in with my general Disney standing and Disney princess specifically standing ways. What's your favorite Eugene and Rapunzel moment? Love you. I love you too, and I love this question. If we're talking just the film, I think it's when he's watching her during Kingdom Dance. If we're talking the film, there's just that specific look he gives her is everything to me. If we're talking the series, I actually probably think, I think this isn't Before Ever After, but just the moment where Eugene kind of tells Rapunzel that it's okay, that she doesn't want to marry him yet, and that he understands, and he says that he'll wait for her and give her time. I think that shows a really clear understanding on his part of where she's coming from and what she needs. And obviously in season 2 we see her kind of understanding and compromising more with where Eugene is coming from with his desire for marriage and to settle down. I like seeing those moments with them, of them really showing how much they understand each other and showing clear, healthy communication. What are your top 5 favorite Taylor Swift songs of all time? This is very difficult, and I'm going to go off the top of my head without thinking about it, because if I think about it too hard, I'm not going to give you an answer. Call It What You Want, Long Live, Clean. Oh my god. Begin Again. Oh my god. Dear Jesus Lord. The Mad Woman? I don't know. What was the first fandom that you joined? This is really embarrassing. I think technically, look, it was technically Taylor Swift, but I feel like a lot of people don't count that because it's a weirdish fandom to it's not a book fandom or anything. If we're talking a media consumption fandom, book or television show, it was probably Glee. But I like to say it's Harry Potter, even though I think it was Glee. I think I was a bigger fan of Glee first, so... Who are your top 5 favorite Disney princesses? I was actually talking to someone about this yesterday. By someone, I mean my mother, because she's the only person I talk to. Rapunzel, Mulan. This is obviously based on personal opinions. I would say Meg, but I know she's not a princess. I know Mulan isn't technically either, but she's included in the official lineup. Belle. I want to say Anna and Tiana. I want to put Moana and Raya and Aurora in there too. But how are you doing today? That is very kind of you to ask. I'm not doing great. Again, my mental health recently has been at an all-time low. I'm barely holding on. And I'm also very ill at the moment. I have a really bad cold, which they're just so fucking annoying. So I'm kind of going through it a little bit, but that's okay. So thank you for asking. So your top 5 PJO characters. If we're just talking PJO and not the entire Ride verse, and Annabeth, Percy, Piper, Charles Beckendorf, and Frank or Hazel. Do you play any sports? Not anymore, but when I was a kid, I did dance for like a long time. I did karate for a relatively long time as well. I did swim, and I briefly did soccer, but not for very long. What are you most excited to see in the PJ TV show? I'm most excited to just be able to grow up with the characters like we did in the Harry Potter films. I'm just really, really excited to be able to see that on screen. Have your favourite Fearless songs changed since listening to Taylor's version? Change in Superstar really grew on me. Taste, Change in Superstar were two of my favourites. Superstar was like my favourite song as a kid, and Change has forever been one of my favorites on Fearless. Some of them I've got no appreciation for ones, like for example, I very much so felt like I outgrew Superstar and Hey Stephen, and they're two of my favorites on Taylor's version. But I think majority of my favorites have probably stayed the same, just because they're my favorites because of personal attachments I have to the songs, and obviously those remain. I love you so much, and just hope that you're doing okay. That's very sweet, and I love you too. Also, what Taylor Swift concerts have you gone/been to? I went to 2 shows of the 1989 tour, both in Adelaide shows. I went to the Sydney show of the Red tour, and I went to the Melbourne and Brisbane shows of the Reputation Stadium tour. Okay, so on a TikTok live, you mentioned you used to write fan screenplays of a hypothetical animated feature adaptation, and that is literally the coolest thing I've ever heard. You're the only person who thinks that's cool, but thank you. You mentioned there were 6 of them, and they were for The Lightning Thief. Okay, my questions are: 1, how far did you get into adapting the book? 2, how faithfully do you think you stuck to the source material? Were there any things you changed you want to talk about? I haven't stopped thinking about the Ashlee cut since I heard about it. Oh my god, I love this and you so much. I don't know exactly. I'm pretty sure each screenplay, each episode was 3 chapters. So however long that is, I didn't get very far into the quest, but the quest had just started, I think. I remember riding the bus exploding, but I don't remember doing Medusa. So however far in that is, technically about probably halfway or a bit under. I stuck to the source material truth faithfully, I think. I tried to keep as much original dialogue in as I could, and would just take out moments that I didn't think. Like if there was a moment happening, I tried to make the dialogue be as close to the book as I could, and I think that I would definitely change that if I were doing things now. For the most part, I think I just took out a few things that I didn't think were essential, and I think I added in more Annabeth stuff, which seems very on brand for me, but I'm pretty sure I added in a couple more moments of like Annabeth and Luke interacting specifically, because that's what I felt was important, and just some more bonding between Percy and Grover from memory. I really focused on like character relationships. What's your favourite food? Random, but I'm really curious. Everyone asks this and I genuinely don't know what my answer is. I really like seafood. I really like ice cream. I like anything with cinnamon on it. If I'm ever craving something sweet, give me like churros or like cinnamon donuts. Absolutely got it. Anything that's just like cake and cinnamon, beautiful. I really like pasta, any sort of like creamy pasta. I don't love tomato-based pastas as much. They're okay, but like any sort of creamy pasta, I really fuck with. I don't know what my overall favorite is. I don't feel like I have like a fun answer. Like my taste in food is pretty basic. How's Percy? He's good. He's currently behind the camera staring out a window, and he's looking at me as I talk about him. He's doing really well though. He's completely adjusted now, which is lovely for me to see, but he's doing well. Thank you for asking. And favourite Marvel group, you might have answered this before, but I don't remember. Mine's the Revengers. If we're talking the MCU, mine is also the Revengers. If we're talking comics, mine is the Young Avengers. I love my gay children. Which do you prefer, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Good Place, or Parks and Rec? Okay, so fun fact, I haven't seen Parks and Rec. You can yell at me all you want. I'm not allowed to watch it without my friend until he gets to Australia. Probably The Good Place. I think The Good Place is one of my favourite pieces of television ever created. I have a huge love for Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well, but The Good Place is just so masterful, I think, and yeah, I'm a massive fan of The Good Place. What pose will you do with Taylor when you meet her? And I know you're going to say if you meet her and all that stuff, but you will. First of all, Molly, I love you. I'm absolutely not ever going to meet her. That's okay. I've made my peace with it. If I did, I've always wanted to do, it depends on where I meet her and like what's a realistic option. There's a specific pose that people did at the 1999 rep secret sessions that lives in my mind rent free, which is laying on the floor and like smiling at her. She's here and you're there, like on the poster of The Fault in Our Stars. That just lives in my mind rent free, but obviously that's only really possible at a secret session. Realistically, I want her to like just stand behind me and hug me from behind. Or there's a photo of her with a member from Fifth Harmony. I never really listened to Fifth Harmony, so I don't know who was who, but where they're just like hugging her. They're really short, which like I relate to, and they're hugging her and she's just kind of like seemingly very tall above her. One of those 3, but preferably probably I'll try and put in a photo here of like the pose that I mean, but I would be like, she'd be hugging me from behind and I'd just kind of clinging on, if that makes any sense. What's your favorite Star Kid musical? Why, thank you for asking. It's genuinely The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals. I think that is one of my favorite musicals of all time, let alone even just a Star Kid one. I'm such a massive fan of that show. I think it's so brilliant. I have a huge amount of love for A Very Poor Senior Year. What's your all-time favorite Taylor song? Call it what you want. What's your favorite track? 5, The Archer. The Archer should have been in my top 5 Taylor Swift songs. I'm so sorry. Do you ship Higsted? Oh my god, of course, they are everything to me. Astrid is like my actual dream cosplay. What's your favorite non-PJO universe book? The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Have you thought of doing comic reviews? Yes, I actually have a video that I wanted to make a while ago, which is like a bunch of comic recommendations, and I want to talk more about comics, but I feel like majority of my audience are just here specifically for like Percy Jackson and nothing else, so I'm always like cautious to make comic and superhero in general, I guess, related content on here, just because I don't know if people want to see it. But if they do, fuck yeah. Do you like The Hunger Games? I've just started the first book and it's amazing. I love The Hunger Games. I reread them like last week. First book didn't hold up as much as I hoped it would, but Catching Fire was still fucking brilliant, and Mockingjay wasn't as bad as I remembered it being, because I used to really not like Mockingjay. I had a massive Hunger Games phase as a kid. It was like the first YA series I ever read. I read it when I was 9. I was obsessed. I went to the midnight showings of all the movies. I went dressed as Prim with my sister dressed as Katniss to the first film. I was a massive fan. I still have so much Hunger Games merch. Like, it's ridiculous. I was very much so a Hunger Games stan, yes. Have you ever been to NYC? Do you plan on visiting? No, I have not. And yes, I do plan on visiting. It's been one of my dream destinations to visit since I was a kid, because I'm a theatre kid and I've grown up dreaming of Broadway and seeing Broadway shows. So absolutely, I want to visit someday. Also, it's getting dark outside, so I apologize for the lighting. What's your ring size? Asking for a friend. I love you. Oh my god. I think it's between like 5.5 and 6 in like US ring sizes, because that's what most things are in. Do you like Olivia Rodrigo's music? I absolutely fucking love Olivia's music. I'm such a huge fan of hers. Like, I was like a High School Musical, the musical, the series stan from like day one, and I'm such a huge fan of All I Want, and I've just been like following her since then, and it's so incredible to see. Her music is genuinely phenomenal. Drop the kid list. Oh my god, this is too much to do off the top of my head. Annabeth Chase, Rapunzel, Evelyn Hugo, Quinn Fabray, Fleabag, Astrid Hofferson, Mia Dolan, oh my god, Peter Parker, Wanda Maximoff, Belle from Beauty and the Beast, Harley Quinn, oh my god, I have so many, Ahsoka Tano. Oh my god, I don't know. There's too many. If Taylor Swift was a demigod, who would her godly parent be? Probably Apollo, but I could definitely see her being an Athena kid too. May have already been answered, but favorite MCU movie? Ragnarok. I have taste. Percy says hi, guys. Why do you love the albums Red and Folklore so much? Because I relate to them a lot. They're my personal favorites. I think they're genuinely really, really good. They're my favorite like albums sonically of Taylor's, but they're also by far the most relatable albums of hers, and I do gravitate towards music that I really relate to. What's your favorite movie? My top 3 are Heathers, La La Land, and The Practicing Wallflower. I don't know what my favorite out of those 3 is. Because what would be your absolute dream to do? Mainly Astrid Hofferson. She's my number 1. Sarah Sanderson is really up there. Pretty much it's just there's a lot of Disney princesses. Disney cosplays are very, very expensive, so they become more of an idea in my brain. Also Wanda Maximoff, but that's happening soon. I want to cosplay pretty much everything Wanda's ever worn. Same with Harley Quinn. I think my main dream cosplay is Astrid Hofferson. Looking forward to 1989 or Speak Now, Taylor's version more? Probably Speak Now. As an aspiring actress, what would be your dream part? Gwen Stacy in the MCU. Live action Rapunzel. Don't ever make a live action Tangled. I know they're doing it, but like don't do it. But cast me as Rapunzel if you're going to. Or like anyone in an Edgar Wright film. Anyone, ever. Or Damien Chazelle. Like anyone in the Damien Chazelle directed film. If you could see one closed Broadway show, what would it be? Not my brain saying Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. That's not true. When did you start the PJO series? When I was 10. So 2012. Favorite Disney movie after Tangled? I'm pretty sure Tangled is first. Could be wrong though. Tangled is definitely first. My second favorite is Hercules. A bit random, but what year were you born in? 2001. Favorite song on Fearless TV / favorite folk song? My favorite song on Fearless TV in general is probably Forever Annoys, Piano, or Untouchable, or Change, or Breathe. My favorite from the Vault song is probably Mr. Perfectly Fine. That's when also hits really, really hard. Don't You is another favorite, but I can't listen to it because it hits too close to home. So, if you are a tree, what type of tree would you be? I want to say a willow. Mind if I draw you? Please do. I will literally cry forever. I have a folder in my phone of just drawings people have done of me, and I just look through it when I'm sad. Like genuinely when I'm really at my worst and feel the most insecure, the thing that means the most to me is when I think of like edits people have made or people who've drawn me, and I think of like how I could inspire in any way, shape or form art like that, and it just makes me feel like maybe I do have a purpose and maybe I have, you know, a reason to be here. And I just feel like that's such a gift, getting to inspire literal art. So please do. How are you so gorgeous, incredible? Oh my god, you're my idol. Oh my god, I love you so much. I'm sending you every hug in the world. How are you so gorgeous and incredible? How are you so gorgeous and incredible? Uno reverse, babe. How is it living on your own? It's nice for a lot of reasons. Obviously, I was in a specific environment that really wasn't great to be living in, and I'm glad to be out of there. Living on my own is kind of lonely though, I'm not gonna lie. Can we go to Build-A-Bear? Please, yes. Please, God, yes. There are like 4 bears at Build-A-Bear that I want to build right now. I'm too broke to do any of them, but I really want to. Please, can we go to Build-A-Bear? Please. Let's go right now. Take my hand. Let's go to Build-A-Bear. How do I convince you to move to Melbourne? Bold of you to assume you haven't already convinced me, babe. How old were you when you discovered Taylor Swift and what's your favourite album? I was 6. No, 7? No, I was 6, nearly 7. I was nearly 7. And my favourite albums are Red and Folklore. If you had 3 wishes, what would you wish for? Oh my god. To me, Taylor Swift. To go to Disney. I don't know, my brain's telling me some real sad shit. I'm like, to have a strong group of friends. I don't know. To be in a Marvel film, to be cast in a Marvel film. They're my 3 wishes. I didn't answer absolutely everything people asked, but I tried to answer as many as I can, but I've now been filming for half an hour, so I don't want this to be like excruciatingly long. But I'm sorry that I've been absent. Thank you for still being here and for sending questions and for caring. I will try to start uploading weekly again. We'll see how my mental health handles things, but I'm going to try and start, you know, getting back in the swing of things and making content for you guys again because I miss you. I'm so sorry that the lighting has gotten so dark. I forgot that it's daylight savings, and so I filmed at the worst possible time, but like, or daylight savings just ended or whatever. I love you. Thank you for being here. I will see you soon. Mwah. I love you.